kids. Welcome to Bible Fun. Pastor Jeff here to welcome you to our video segment one more time. Hey, I'm here in my office and I happen to be looking at a kind of a special book. In some of the days past, when a person would join the church, their name would be recorded in the book and the date that it happened, and the minister that was a part of the service was also recorded. In some sense, this is a membership book. It's a book where names are listed. I think that there is a more important book that you might be hearing something about, which is called the Book of Life. And when we accept Jesus as our Savior, our names are in that book. Another way of saying it might be that we're the sheep, Jesus' sheep. And so as I was thinking about this book with names recorded, I was thinking about that. That possibility that each one of us can be included in Jesus' book of life and one of the sheep of his pasture. I hope you have fun with Bible Fun. I hope that you've enjoyed the previous 4 lessons and now this one as well as the crafts and the songs and the games. Hey, I also want to invite you to come and be a part of the church if you're not already. We'd love to have you come and be a part of things. And you can find out more about that on the church's website, which is lakemoreumc.com. So have fun. Good to see you again.
Hello, young gentlemen and young gentle ladies. I'm Miss Lee, and I'm going to read a story today. First of all, we're going to start out with Eric Schwartz, not a relative of mine, a young man who thought he was a tough kid, about 16, 17, 18 years old. And he just was not a very nice young man. He was lonely, he had no family, and he decided one day that he was going to steal some stuff from a store. Well, he got caught. And the police said, since this is the first time you've ever had a problem, you may work in a soup kitchen. Well, he thought, yuck, that sounds awful. So he went to the soup kitchen and he peeled potatoes and he mopped the floors and he handed out food. Well, he began to realize that these were really nice people. They weren't yucky people. They were people just like him who didn't have anybody. So he decided he was going to be a great service person. He handed them their food, he said hello, he talked to them, he was very pleasant, and how wonderful that is. Well, then a little girl came up to him and she said, "Mister, are you Jesus?" The question startled him. "Huh?" he asked, confused. "You must be Jesus," she insisted. "Mama told me Jesus loves poor people like us." Well, that was his reward. He found out that he could be a really great person to others. When Eric shared the story with the soup kitchen manager, she showed him Matthew 25 in the Bible in the New Testament. "That's why we're here," she said. And it says, "The Son of Man will come again in his great glory with all his angels. He will be king and sit on his great throne. All the nations of the world will be gathered before him." How can they ever do that? That's going to be Japan and Austria and Australia and France. How are they ever going to get all these people together? But somehow they are, so we'll know he's here. "Then the king, the Son of Man, will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left." Now, in the beginning, of course, Jesus loved the sheep and the goats, but to show people good and bad, he named the sheep his good people and the goats his not so nice people. And he said to them, I was hungry. He said to the sheep, I was hungry, and you gave me food. I had no clothes, and you gave me clothes. I was alone, and you invited me into your house. I was sick, and you took care of me. And all the sheep looked at him and said, what? We don't remember doing anything like that. Well, remember that fellow that didn't have an overcoat, and you found him one. And somebody else needed food, so you directed them to the food kitchen, and they were fed. When did we see you without clothes and give you something to wear? Well, that's when they gave him the coat. When did we see you sick or in prison and care for you? Then the king will answer, I tell you the truth, anything you did for any of these people, you also did for me. And then he turned to the goats, and he said, and you people who don't believe in me, you will be punished. That means you won't be with me anymore. And he said, I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. Remember that time when that person wanted your sandwich, and you said, no, this is my sandwich, go away. Or somebody, the lady who had 3 kids and was sleeping in her car, and you said, well, serves you right, you should get a job. So they got punished and they couldn't be with Jesus anymore. So that was very sad. I tell you the truth, anything you refuse to do for even the least of my people here, you refuse to do for me. These people will go off to be punished forever, but the good people will go to heaven and be with me. For us to have the right to dwell in God's house, we must be sure that we are Jesus' sheep and not a goat. Today, if you hear his voice, open your hearts. Ask Jesus to be your shepherd. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. And whoever trusts and follows him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Here's a promise from God. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. These verses tell us that as God's sheep, his children, we are required to treat others with kindness and love. By doing so, it shows we are following our good shepherd. In fact, to do good to others is to do good to Jesus. Now, you might think you're just a little kid and you can't do anything. But what if somebody drops a book on the floor and you say, oh, I'll get that for you. Or you see somebody who doesn't have any food and you say, I know where you can go to a soup kitchen. Or you go home and tell your mom, Mom, there's a lady there with children and she has no new clothes for them. Could I give them some of my clothes? And that's how you take care of Jesus' good people. And you do nice things for Jesus too. He appreciates it and loves you. Now, I have a little song for the end of this that we sang when I was a little girl in the Methodist Church in Ravenna. And it was, step, 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 we're going to our church. Step, 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 we're going to our church. We're going there to work and play. We're going there to sing and pray. Step, 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 we're going to our church. And we would sing that over and over again and march to our rooms. And that was fun, and I just wanted to hear that song again. Maybe when we can all get together, we can sing the song together. It's been very nice to be with you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hi there, this is Rich Cole. Welcome to the musical component of the final week of Lakemore United Methodist Church's 2021 Bible Fun program. This week's song is As the Deer by Martin Nystrom, and it is based on Psalm 42:1. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. We hope you enjoy this LUMC praise team rendition of this beautiful song. Thank you so much for joining us this year for Bible Fun. We hope you enjoyed our program. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
thirsteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. You're my friend and you are my brother, even though you are a king. I love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee.
Baba, lost sheep, have you lost your way? Yes sir, didn't mean to stray. Wandered off to rest under a tree. Now I can't find you, will you please find me? Baba, got sheep, please don't go astray. You'll see in life there are many different ways. One for the master and some you shun it too. Some that seem okay but just aren't meant for you.
Hi, welcome to week 5 crafts. I'm sure you've been having fun this last 4 weeks, and this is our final craft for our last week. We are going to make a sheep pillow today. So in your bag, you're going to get a bag of stuffing, a empty sheep, a head, 2 whites of the eyes, and 2 pupils to put your sheep together. And what we're going to do it with, I'll just show you now, is we're going to use some double-sided tape. So we'll get right to the making of it. Hi, so now we're here to assemble our sheep. You'll notice there's a slit cut in your sheep, and that is where we're going to stuff it. So we take our stuffing and we are stuffing it in. I'm going to stuff it down into the feet as best you can, You can put as much stuffing in or as little. Some people like it a little fluffier. So you just keep stuffing it in. I like mine fluffy. So we're just gonna keep on going. You'll see as it gets puffier, I think that's about all we're gonna be able to put in today. In fact, I think I got a little too fluffy. All right, so here we go. We have our sheep. So now what you do is you peel off the tape. It comes off pretty easy. If you need help, ask an adult. So it would come like that. So today, just for demonstration, I'm not gonna peel it, but I'm gonna put it on. This is where I want my head. So you decide where you want it and that it covers the slit. So that's how we're going to keep it sewed rather than trying to sew it afterward because we're not here at the church. So then we take the eyes out, and every piece has double-sided tape on it. But same thing for demonstration, I'm just going to show you. You can put the eyes on any way you want. I found I like them on the big one on that side, and then the other one on this side of the sheep. Just gotta make sure they probably there, and so there. And you also have the chance afterward, if you want to, you can ask Brenda for one of these needles, and you could sew it around if that's what you want to do, if you know how to sew, or if your mom wants to sew. But we were trying to keep it easy so you could do it yourself. And the finished product looks just like this. So he's a cute little sheep pillow. Thank you for watching.
Hi, it's Brenda here again. And this week, one of the games with the little sheep, you can use lots of sheep. You can use cotton balls, and you can use origami sheep. So I'm going to show you how to make some origami sheep. Now, in your packet, you have 6-inch square. I'm sorry, you have 4-inch squares printed with the sheep. Now, if you have a little brother or sister, they're getting a 6-inch square. I'm going to use the 6-inch square to show you how to make it, just so it's going to be easier for you to see. I have partial samples here showing each step, and these are in the 4-inch size. If you've never done origami before, you may have no idea what I'm talking about. Origami is folding paper to make things. It can be hard to say, it can be hard to spell, and if you've never done it before, it could look kind of confusing. So I'm going to go real slowly and take you step by step for each fold. If you know about origami, you've done it before, you might be able to just look at the instructions you get and just look at the pictures and whiz right through it. Okay, I'll turn around and let you see from... Okay, so here's again what our sheep's going to look like. And I'm using a larger size. We're going to start with your printed side down, the face towards you. If you don't have a packet, you can use just a plain white paper, and I'll explain as we go for you too. Okay, so step 1, we're going to fold top to bottom. First, just crease at the edges, just so that we can mark the center, and then we're going to fold the top and bottom into the center. Okay. Just crease it at the edge, and then top and bottom up. Every fold we make, we want to get it a good crease. If you don't crease it all the way, like the first time, I'll make sure I'll let you know not to crease all the way, but usually we're going to crease all the way. I'm going to open that back up. And then step 2 is a lot like that, only this time when we fold it in half, we're going to go ahead and crease it. And again, the sides into the center. If you get working on this and you get interrupted and you want to start up again, it may be hard to tell where you left off, but the solid line, fold line in the center, that's always going to be going up and down. Okay. Now, step 3, it's got a few parts to it. We're going to flip it over. So we got the print side up. And you have a number 3 line on here. That's what we're going to fold. But we're going to take the corners into the center. We're folding on that line, but we're just going to fold from here out. We're just going to crease from there. We're not going to crease this part here. If you do, it's not that big of a deal because we're going to flip it over and crease it the other way. So I'm going to fold all these ends in. Now we're going to flip the paper back over and do the same thing, only now we're going to crease the tops and the bottoms. Like this one here. Now, this may seem a little tricky. We're going to fold on, I'm going to fold the sides in, and it's going to fold just like that. This is the line that we folded in step number 2. So we've got the point, the folded point we made in there, and then this one here gets out to the corners of the page are now going to be at the center. Fold out. There we go. Okay, that's the end of step 3. Now, you can see there's lines here that say number 4. So step 4, we're going to fold on those, and if you don't have the printed paper, it's just folding this long edge, so it's going to be right in line with the folded edge here. And it's not the right one. Okay, so you can see on here, I'm going to fold all of these out. And then step number 5, I'm going to show you that it's real similar. First we did I'm going to fold the long ends out and make them even there. And then step 5 is folding these short ends from here. As this end here, it's going to go in to the folded point. Okay, this is step 4. Now step 5. Okay, so I'm going to explain steps 6, 7, and 8. 6, we're going to fold up the bottom end. If you're using printed paper, it'll be right at the edge of that face. If you're not using printed paper, a 4-inch square will be about 3/16 inch or 1/2 centimeter. 6-inch square is about 5/16 inch or 3/4 centimeter, and an 8-inch square, fold up about 3/8 inch or 1 centimeter. And then for steps 7 and 8, we're going to fold down the top line from the fold that we made in step 1, and on step 8 we're going to fold up on the line that we also made in step 1. Okay, so I'm going to fold up here. Those are easy 3 steps. Okay, now step 9 has a few parts. You'll notice if you have printed paper, you got a line here. We're going to fold down on that. If you don't have the printed paper, this is about 1/8 inch up from this fold for 4-inch paper. 6 inch would be 3/16 inch, and 8 inch would be 1/4 inch, which is about what I got here. I'm going to fold this down, and then we're going to fold it in half. And this is on the fold that you made in step 2, that halfway. Now we're going to make the head go so it's not straight out but bent in a little bit. So we're going to take it, if it's printed paper, push it in a little bit so that it's in line with that, the printed part. Almost done. And again, if you don't have the printed papers, just bring his head down a little bit. Now step 10, look on this side, got a little line there. I'm going to fold it in and back out, and open it up and stick it in, just to give him a curved edge there, angle edge. Now if you want, you can fold in kind of like along where it's printed, or just a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more rounded edge there at the bottom. And if it's hard to work with that tiny folds, it's not necessary. It's just, and if you're using white paper, you can draw some little swirls, give them fluffy fur, and color the feet black and the head black, and leave a little white ring for the eyes. And again, these can be used for a game that I'll tell you about in just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game. You can use your little lamb sheep. You can also use origami sheep, or cotton balls, or anything else you want to use for sheep. In today's Bible lesson, the verse, let's see, how does it go? Goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And learn that talk about the following there. It's not just tagging along somewhere behind you, but searching for us, looking for us. So for the game, we're going to be searching for sheep. We're going to get to play goodness and mercy, searching out. It's kind of like hide and seek, but instead of people hiding, we're going to hide the sheep. And one person can hide them, or if you have a large group of people playing, you may want to have 2 or 3 people hiding in different areas. Like maybe I'll hide in the front yard and you hide in the back, hide the sheep in the backyard, and then we can look in places that you didn't hide them. And you just try to see who finds the most. And that's about it. If you want to play a few times, Whoever finds, if you have one person hiding you, whoever finds the most, then that person gets to hide them the next time. Okay, and remember, goodness and mercy are going to be hunting you out, following you. Bye. Hi. Welcome to the snack part of Bible Fun. This is our last week for Bible Fun, week 5. So we're on the last verse of Psalm 23. And it ends with, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Today, we're going to make a house. Not quite as spectacular as the house of the Lord, but it's a house. We have some graham crackers, some peanut butter, and some things to use for decorations. We have some fruity circle cereal. You may have some other things that you can use. Now I got a fork I'm using to spread it, but you can use a spoon or a knife or perhaps your finger. I have some broken half, and I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom to help it stand up on the plate. And I'm gonna put some on the edge, so it's gonna stick to the one next to it. Over that, make 4 for the bottom. Now this one here has a full piece across the top. You can do that. I'm going to try one making a half using just a square. And I found if you to break them, if I put my thumbnails across the dotted line here and then break it, it's more likely for it to break it along the center. It doesn't always happen, but it was more likely to get in the center that way. Okay, so I'm going to spread some peanut butter around the edge of these and put it together. Maybe using a full one would be better. Let's see if I can try this again. That one broke in half good. Put some up on peak on top. Okay, now add some decorations. Let's see. I think I'm going to just put a few right along the edge. You could put on as much as you want. If you have other things you don't use to decorate, you could always put the cereal in a bowl and add some milk. Okay, I hope you had fun with Bible Fun. I hope you saw that we can have fun learning about the Bible. We can have fun playing with our food. Hopefully I will get to see you next year at Summer Fun when we actually come to the church and do things like this.